What's up, guys? itsOJP here. Today we're going to be predicting the FC27 ratings of the PSG squad. I stayed up late last night making some cards to run through, and I've set up a little slideshow, so let's get straight into it. Starting off, we got Matthew Safanov. Obviously, he was our backup keeper last year. He's now become our first choice keeper, and he's doing a very good job of it. We are in a Champions League final, and that is courtesy, obviously, of the team, but it's also courtesy of him making a lot of big saves. So, for his upgrade, I have moved him up to 84. It's quite a drastic upgrade. I've given him quite a big boost on the reflexes as well, but I just think overall this card is very fair. I mean, he has, saved us in some big moments this season, and he's made some saves that only he would make. So I think unique-wise, he's a very good goalkeeper, and I just think he deserves his flowers. So 84 rated for Matvey Safanov for me. Next up, we got Hakimi, and this is his card this year, and it's pretty good, but I do think he's been done dirty by the stats, so I haven't actually given him an upgrade. I've upgraded his passing and dribbling because moving forward, he is, the best right back in the world at doing that, and his assists speak for itself, so his passing's got to be higher in my opinion, and dribbling, he's just so composed on the ball, so yeah, I've just given him a slight stat upgrade. Next up, we've got Marquinhos. Now, Marquinhos has actually had a good season. This is his card based off of last season, but I have actually given him a downgrade, but I've made him a bit more well-rounded. I've also given him slide tackle plus. He has made some, last-ditch slide tackles this season, which, they can't be overlooked. But yeah, no, Marquinhos, I think, is bound to get a downgrade, mainly because of age, not really because of ability. He's also not played as much. So yeah, I think this is a bit more realistic. Next up, we've got Pacho. He was 86, and I can't lie, I was maybe expecting a little bit higher. Obviously, he was quite low rated the year before that, which was FC24. FC25. So this is obviously his FC26 card, but for FC27, I've actually moved him up +2. He is one of the best centre-backs in the world, probably the best centre-back in my opinion. Super strong player. He's, man marking, his tackling, his ability to head the ball away. It's all just perfect. So yeah, for me, he gets a +2. I think Gabriel will probably get a +1, which will make him 89. But yeah, he definitely does deserve an upgrade. Next up, we've got Nuno Mendes. He is currently 86. Now, considering they moved Hakimi up to 89, I was very surprised to see Nuno Mendes still only 86. So I have given him a drastic upgrade, and obviously I think it speaks for itself. We've moved him up to 89. I've improved his dribbling, passing, defending, physical, and shooting, because I think this man can do everything. I think he could literally play in every single position on the pitch. And I'm not being funny. If you don't agree with this rating, I think that's just ridiculous. He's locked up Elise, he's locked up Saka, he's locked up Messi, he's locked up, who else? Yamal. He's locked up all the big wingers in the world on his side. So I think this is a very justified card. And if Marcelo can get whatever it was, 88, 89 back in the day, so can Nuno Mendes. The next player is Vitinha. Now, Vitinha has been the best midfielder in the world for the second season on the trot. This was his card last year. I think it was a little bit done dirty by pace, maybe a little bit low passing, and a little bit low defending, in my opinion. The play style is also debatable, so this is the card I've given him. I've moved him to DM because he is more of a hold-in sort of works-everything player, so I don't know, I feel like DM feels a bit more suited for him, considering how he drops between the defenders. I've given him a pace upgrade, a shooting upgrade, I think. I've upgraded his passing. Let me check, hold on. Yeah, I have upgraded his passing. I've upgraded his dribbling slightly because obviously he's already very high. And his defending has been great this season because he has made, some very big tackles. I've also given him long ball plus because the technical doesn't really come into play as much, I think he plays more long balls, like to a better standard, if you know what I mean. It's hard to explain. They're both debatable. If he has a card with more than one play style plus, then he'd have both. But I think his long balls are too good to pass up on. I think in game this card would feel more like Vitinha with that long ball. The next player is João Neves. He is 85. I think he was upgraded from 79 the season before that, so that was a drastic upgrade. And I've tried to keep this realistic because I don't like being unrealistic as a PSG fan. I think it makes fan bases look bad. So I have given him, a sensible little upgrade. And I've only moved him up to 87. I've changed his playstyle plus to relentless. I've also made him Hullet Gang, and the reason why is he doesn't stop running his legs off. He can get forward, he can get back, he can defend, he can tackle. The way he looked up Cole Palmer against Chelsea was unbelievable, by the way. So it's things like that. His defending is obviously great, as I said, and yeah, I think he's just an all-rounder, and I think this card is the pure definition of that. So yeah, I think that's a fair rating. I've done Zaire Emery as well. I've done quite a few players, by the way. It's not just a starting 11. I've done a few extras and a bonus player at the end. Zaire Emery, this was his card. Obviously, he was injured for most of last season, so he wasn't bound to get an upgrade. I've now moved him to right back because he played there for quite a fair amount of this season. I've given him pinged pass as well because he is very, good at playing them drilled passes and distributing from that right back position. And I've made him a little bit more of an all-rounder. I think his dribbling's really composed. I think his passing's great. His defending's pretty good, and his physical's definitely improving. The way he bodies players, considering he's only, 20, 21 years of age, is unbelievable. So I think this is a justified card for Warren Zaire-Emery. The next player is Fabian Ruiz. Obviously, he's been out for most of this season, so I kept this one realistic. I've literally added a play style to him. I think I upgraded one of his stats. Physical, yeah, I've given him a bit extra physical, and I've given him tiki-taka because let's just keep it realistic. The next player is Seni Mayulu, and Seni has had a pretty good season, significantly less minutes than last season. Obviously, he got a +10, I think, from the year before. I've given him a +5, and I've made him a gold rare, and I've given him a few extra stats. I think he is actually really good. I think I've boosted his physical by 20, and I think this kid can literally play everywhere. He's played right back, he's played left back, he's played centre mid, DM, cam, striker. He's done literally everything for this club. I think he's played on the wing as well. So yeah, Seni's literally done everything. So I think this card is perfect for him. The next player we've got is Desiree Doué. So we're moving into attackers now. This was his card. He had Trickster. They gave him quite a big dribbling boost. I was a little bit disappointed with the pace when this card dropped, but overall this card is actually pretty fair. I have given him an 87 this time. He did have a really good first half of the season, but I think as the season went on, he's slightly dipped. I'm not saying he's bad at all because he hasn't had a bad season, hence the upgrade. But it's not quite 88 worthy, and definitely not 89 worthy yet. If I look back at that other card, I've given him some added stats to pace, shooting, passing. I've given him 92 dribbling. I think that all speaks for itself. And yeah, I just think Desiree Doué is a great player, and I think this card is definitely as deserved as it is. The next player is Bradley Barcola. Now, some people would say he's had a bit of a lacklustre season. I think goals and assists wise, he hasn't actually done very bad. I've only given him a +1 though. I've given him rapid plus because have you seen the pace on this guy? It's ridiculous. I think I downgraded his shooting. And this is because I think the first season he joined, I feel like one-on-one against a keeper, he would always finish it. And at the start of last season as well, I thought he'd, always finished those balls as well. Hence why he got Player of the Month at the start of the last season. I'm referring to 24-25, by the way. And this year, it just seems to have dipped. He has scored some pretty good goals, especially against Chelsea, the left-footed shot in the first leg, and obviously the top bins right-footed shot against Chelsea in the second leg. So yeah, I think this card is pretty fair. I don't think he's quite worthy of being a walkout yet, although we'll see what EA think of that. But yeah, I honestly don't mind this card. Next player is the big one, Ousmane Dembele. Now, he's not quite at the same calibre as his Ballon d'Or season. However, he might be challenging for another one. So I have only given him a shooting and passing and defending upgrade, I think. Yeah, so only slight upgrades to the card. It's quite a big shooting upgrade. Obviously, it's gone from 88 to 90, but he deserves it. He's a great shooter, and I've given him Power Shot Plus as well because I'm not being funny. Have you seen this guy's right-footed shots? They are ridiculous. It is a debate, whether he should have rapid, whether he should have power shot, whether he should maybe have low-driven shot. But power shot for me just does it. Honestly, I think he deserves it. The next player is Kvaratskhelia. Now, he has probably had the biggest step up you know, in the whole team. So I've given Kvaratskhelia an 89. I don't think they'd give him 90 quite yet, unless he goes on to win the Ballon d'Or, which is not likely considering it's a World Cup year. But 89 is fair. I've given him some significant stat upgrades. You know, his pace. I think I've upgraded his dribbling. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I have. I've just given him a overall better rounded card, and finesse shots justified. Obviously, he cuts inside, and when he gets a finesse shot once he's cut inside, it's basically a goal. So I think out of anyone in FIFA, he definitely deserves this. Next player, we've got Julian Alvarez. I thought I'd just add him because it does look very likely we'll sign him. So this is a current card. He's had a stellar season for Atletico Madrid, and I have given him an 89 with set pieces because I think, you know, the free kicks he's scored this season have just been unbelievable. So I think it's a bit more of a fun play style to have. And overall, I've given him a better card. So yeah, guys, that was my FC27 PSG rating. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to subscribe or follow TikTok, wherever you're watching this on, and I will see you guys very soon.